There are fans, of course, of hello, Mr. Thompson.
I think he's talking to you.
Welcome back. You are deep into the Flophouse once again, and we are, I guess, celebrating Resident Evil Week, whatever you want to call it, Resident Evil Palooza, with a tier list. Now, I've already done the Resident Evil games, so why don't we do something else, something a little bit different, something maybe even, dare I say, more controversial? The best Resident Evil baby faces. Up at the top, of course, we have the GOATs, then the BSAA Employee of the Month. Prestigious, I have to say, very prestigious. Then y'all pretty dope. And after that, then hope y'all be zombie food. And then finally, no opinion, don't know them. Because there are a few Biohazard Resident Evil heroes that I'm kind of like, I don't actually know you. I just, simply put. Now, what do I mean by best baby faces, of course? Well, you have to be playable in a Resident Evil game, and you have to be a good guy. So the heroes, as it were. Now, there is a contentious person in there, of course, but you can't have actual villains. Like, even though Krauser's a playable character in like one Resident Evil game, and Wesker is playable in like several different versions in spin-off modes and all that, I'm not counting them because they're purely evil from the start, and they have to be playable. There's plenty of Resident Evil characters I'd say that are categorized as heroes, but they're mostly background characters and such. They do something important, but you don't really get a lot to work off of in terms of ranking them and stuff. So we're gonna do this in the best type of order, alphabetical. I tried thinking maybe chronologically, but that didn't really make sense. That was getting kind of confusing because I don't know when some Resident Evil games happen in regards to others. So we are starting off everywhere here. All these fine ladies and gentlemen. Of course, we're starting off with one of the finest ladies of them all, Ada Wong. Okay. So Ada, very taken with her when I first played RE2 on the best version of RE2 for the N64. Everyone knows this. But as the series kind of went on, RE4, I was like, you can only be mysterious for so long and everything like that. So I'd really like a game that like kind of really explores Ada a bit more, but maybe that's her, her mystique, as it were, that we'll never really know what her full deal is. But I really enjoyed playing as her in separate ways in the Resident Evil 4 remake. I really like that version of Ada. Took me a little bit to come around to it, but I think she's quite cool in that one. I think for me, Ada's not quite there at the GOAT level. Very close though, but she's definitely a BSAA Employee of the Month. I think that's not controversial to say, and I say that every tier list video, I know, but enjoy that. This is gonna probably be a very filled up row, I have to say. GOATs, we'll see. Next up, Alyssa Ashford. Ashcroft, Alicia Ashcroft, I think Ashcroft. Anyway, Grace's mom. She is from, of course, the Outbreak series. And I only played the Outbreak series twice ever when they were new. So, I don't have a whole lot to say about those. But I know that Alyssa has some story significance. But that's kind of a nah to me. I don't really have that sort of frame of reference where they sort of go, but I do have a little bit of opinion. I don't hate the characters, so that's not it. But no opinion, don't know them. I think Alyssa, you know what? No, I don't know them. I really don't know them. There's only 2 Outbreak characters I really have anything to say about, quite honestly. So maybe no opinion, don't know them. Are Alyssa fans gonna come at me? I don't think so. There are fans, of course, of hello, Mr. Thompson.
I think he's talking to you.
Ark Vincent, whatever you want to call him, the protagonist from Resident Evil Survivor. Y'all pretty dope. Any voice acting from good old Ark Thompson is enough to do it for me. I think they're pretty funny. I love their journey that they go through in Resident Evil Survivor. I should probably play that game fully. I only did like a little hint, a little taste of it, but y'all, I think Ark's pretty dope. Ashley's also pretty dope. I don't think she's quite a VSA Employee of the Month. If she gets to be in another game, yes. I actually prefer remake Ashley to original Ashley. I just think the voice actress did a phenomenal job. And, she's just not quite as bratty as the RE4 remake version, as the RE4 original version, I should say. So, yeah, I think Ashley, I enjoyed her playable section in the remake more than the first game. Next, we have, look at this! What do you think of it? Barry, y'all pretty dope. I don't think VSAA Employee of the Month maybe another game, one more game, we can get him in. If he didn't have his appearance in Revelations 2, and have to put him lower just because there's not enough Barry and I want more Barry in my life. Get these berries into my mouth, that type of thing. So I think that's fine. Billy, my boy Billy, though, he is a BSAA Employee of the Month. I love him to death. I think he came around at the perfect time. Even though I don't have any, I love me. Well, I kind of have a tribal tattoo, a little bit. But I was quite taken with Billy, I should say, when RE0 came around. So I still love him to this day. There's not a whole lot to him, but he gets more than a lot of other Resident Evil characters. At least he gets flashback scenes and all that to flesh him out a little bit. I'd love him to come back. I can't wait if a RE0 remake really is true, and it seems like it is. I don't think he's everyone's cup of tea, because it's like being in Zero kind of just makes people go, ugh, Zero. I'm like, yeah, I get it. But yeah, he's special to me, damn it. So I love me some Billy Cohen. Bruce, I'm just Mr. Sugar Ray. That's a nah to me. That's a big nah. That's not, don't hate him, but he just kind of sucks. I played Dead Aim quite a bit the other year, and I'm just, this guy's got nothing. And it's like his design is like a big part of it too. So at least have an interesting design if they're not going to give you much to work with, right? So Bruce from Dead Aim, you are almost in dead last. Carlos, hell yeah. Carlos is on the same level as a lot of Resident Evil, the Resident Evil characters I really like. I think in the RE3 remake, they did probably the best job with him. I think he's just so charming, just really ingratiated himself in like Resident Evil, like sort of history. I think that's a BSAA Employee of the Month right there. I really wish that game had like a DLC campaign where you played as Carlos only or something like that. That should have gotten a lot of DLC that game. I still don't understand why they didn't. I think that would have like helped its reputation somewhat, even though I think that game was like unfairly shat on by a lot of people. It was fine for what it was. I know about all the cut content, believe me, I know, and it would have been great if that was in it, but I still don't mind what was there, right? It was the Resident Evil 3, but if you really love Resident Evil 3, I get it. Anyway, love Carlos, love the remake version of Carlos even more. I really hope he comes back in a future game. Chris, I mean, that's a goat, right? Resident Evil. I do think we need a new Chris game, something where he shows up playable now. I think we've had a break enough from him that I know you could play as him at the end of Village and in one of the DLCs of whoever that was, one of the DLCs in RE7. I don't know who that guy was. I might as well put no opinion, don't know them of that Chris in there. That was so fucking bizarre. Chris from RE1 to Code Veronica to 5. Any game he's one of the main heroes is still good. I mean, it's not his fault that he has the worst, by far the worst campaign in RE6. I tried playing it again just for a video and I just couldn't do it. I just had nothing to say. It was just so boring. Anyway, I think Chris has just gone through it. He's had quite an arc here and there with amnesia, what every good protagonist needs to have. Is a decorated army veteran pilot sharpshooter by like 19 in the Resident Evil universe. Punched a boulder once. All that great stuff. Chris is a goat, and I don't think anyone is surprised about that. Next up, we have Cindy who is y'all pretty dope. That's the Outbreak character for me. Just think they have kind of a unique design. It's not who you exactly expect from a random survivor, and good name, good model, good looking character. I think overall, not quite at a. I just think out of all of the cast in Outbreak, she's kind of the one standout for me in my very limited sort of view on those characters. But yeah, now I know you're gonna say, who the fuck is Clancy? And I also have to be like, Clancy, who are you? Don't know who the fuck you are. So I had to research a little bit. Clancy is the guy that you play with the videotape things in RE7. Remember the RE7 DLC and all that? He is playable in that's who it is. So he technically counts, even though it looks like a rejected character from The Walking Dead. He's a hero. I guess didn't get a whole lot done. He's I think. Right smack dab in the middle. Any Clancy fans out there? Ring me up. We'll talk about Clancy. There's not much to talk about, but we could do it. Anyway, Claire GOAT. Can't fuck with Claire. Need Claire back. Remake version of Claire, I do not prefer. I prefer old school Claire. Revelations 2 Claire's is as far as I'll go. I'm interested to see what they'll do, if they'll change her a little bit for the Code Veronica remake that's supposedly being made. But I mean, it makes the most sense to me why you do that, because we've journeyed on with Leon twice now, with the RE4 remake and then RE9. And that splinters off from RE2, and now we should go to see what Claire's been doing around that time. So the Code Veronica remake makes the most sense to me to be released, and just, great design, really, really capable, not overexposed, not in like a ton of games you're kind of like, oh, okay, Claire again. No, it's like, I want more Claire now. I've been Claire starved. And yeah, just growing up, I was just like, yeah, Claire's cool. She likes motorcycles. She gets grenade launcher, that type of stuff. So David from Outbreak, that's an absolute no opinion. Don't know them. David King, isn't that a fucking Dead by Daylight character? I think so. So sorry to say, not much to say about David. Mr. No Face, Mr. Dark Man. Yeah, maybe Ethan does have a thing where his face is rotting off every 2 hours or whatever, and needs to run away, put a shadow over it and shit. I don't much care for Ethan Winters, I'm going to be honest with you. They tried their best to do it, but I just don't care about him. They tried to make a thing where it's like, he's the everyman. He's kind of like you. It's like, I don't want to be me. I want to be a cool Resident Evil hero, like Chris or Leon and shit like that. So Ethan is a to me. That's not a nah. Nah is more on the negative side, just like I wish you don't exist. I don't wish Ethan didn't exist. I just wish they did something more interesting with them right off the bat. I think trying to force mystique on a character, like just by, oh, he's so mysterious. He's not. We were just hiding his face because we fucked ourselves a little bit because we tried to make it into a VR thing, and it just didn't work out. It just didn't work out. And the lengths that they went to, if you saw the OSW Resident Evil Village re-upload that I guest starred on the DLC section, we go really hard on Ethan and his lack of face. There he is with the face, if you care. I don't. This is Fong from also Dead Aim, also a nah. Don't think I need to expunge on that. George, another opinion, don't know them, sorry. A lot of these Outbreak characters are very, in my mind, kind of just avatars to play the game, and they're not that interesting to me. Maybe if I played it again. Capcom needs to do something with Outbreak. They're not going to re-release the old ones. They're not going to do that because they're old PS2 ones, but maybe they'll remake them one day. I still don't understand why all those weird failed Resident Evil spin-off games, I forget the names, Resistance and Reverse. Yeah, I'm not including Resistance in here because I don't think those are canon characters in my head. Let me know if I'm off base on that, but I'm not going to correct my opinion on it. But I think Outbreak characters do need their time to shine, so I can get to know them better, because they're locked on PS2 jail and they're basically almost unplayable. Yeah, cut to everyone telling me all the ways you can play it nowadays. I got no time for that. Helena from RE6. Tough to remember her sometimes. Tough to remember. I like her design, but she's just doesn't have a lot going for her. It's like a lot of characters don't have a lot going for them of new ones in RE6 because the story is not really about them too much. There's some stuff with her. Leon bailed her out from something. I forget what. I like her design, but I don't think pretty dope. So I don't even think she made as a very exciting partner for Leon. Right? Would have been better if his partner had been Sherry or something. Anyway. Yeah, I don't think I can move her into y'all pretty dope. I think Helena's still Jake, also from RE6. Now listen, this kid's got some stuff. He's got some juice, right? He's got some juice. Super powered, weird Wesker baby clone or something. There's all his crazy melee moves. That's something. He's also like try hard edgy, and that's just kind of not that edgy nowadays. It's kind of cringe a little bit. Depends on the character. Sometimes I like it. Sometimes Daddy likes, but like. I think y'all pretty dope though. I can't put him in. He's got more going on. I like him better than Ethan. You know, I could say that. Jessica from Revelations 1. Now, technically, this is the sort of character that's like, does she really belong in here? Need to kind of beat Resistance 1. I know that's a tall order for some. It's not the best Resident Evil game. I think I'm gonna leave her in. Technically a baby face for 95% of the game anyway. Because of that, I'll leave her at kind of forgettable in the overall. I do like her hat though. Jill. No, not pretty dope. No, Jill, you're not dope. No, you're not. No, you're a goat. Jill's the goat. Needs to come back again in in a not remake way. Needs to be inserted into the new games, the new narratives. I did really enjoy her in remake. I just think they did enough to differentiate her from like older Jill or whatever. Like I'm still sometimes confused about if this is a new universe, the remakes, right? And if they feed into the new narrative games, the mainline games or not. Sometimes it's hard to distinguish nowadays. Anyway, but loved her in the first remake, in RE1 remake. I just think she had a beautiful design. She had a weird couple of games. RE5, looking at you. She had a weird couple of face model incidents where we just didn't know what to do with Jill. It was pretty weird for a while. I like her baseball cap version. I like that one. So Jill, for everything she's done, for all the tyrants she's put down, for all the nemesis she's put down, absolutely there. You're probably going to see a running trend with the goats here. Just letting you know. Moving on, we have Jim. Jim from another from Outbreak again. Jim's got something going on. He's got this Dennis Rodman, sort of Simon Phoenix, sort of like way about him with the hair. I like that. It's a little bit of something. I think we can do something with Jim. Maybe one time. David and George, I don't know. These might as well be like Silent Hill dads looking for loved ones. Make no impression on me. But Jim, I think he's got something. He's not a nah. I think he's got a little something. I'm not really sure what. Joe, though. Joe, powerbombing boxing grandpa. I think RE7 had too much DLC, in all honesty. Joe's, though, was the highlight. End of Zoe. You play as Joe in first person, and you're just wrecking shop. Super cool. Very different character for Resident Evil. Actually being an elderly chap. I can't even remember how it went, how it ended. I can't remember if Joe died or not. I hope not. Better show up in a fighting game sometime soon. Y'all, you know what? BSAA Employee of the Month. Fuck it. Josh from the RE5 DLCs. I like Josh. I think he's a pretty dope. He's a pretty dope Josh. I kind of thought they'd do more with him. He'd come back. They had all those weird new characters in Revelations and Revelations. Oh, just Revelations 1. I don't know why Josh couldn't have been brought back into the fold, instead of like random weirdos that were just a one-off and never came back in any sort of way. Jessica, and we'll see others. But yeah, Josh should have come back. I think a very solid player and could get even more play if he was added in something down the line. Speaking of which, one of the weird random characters from Revelations 1, Keith. at least he had a little bit of charisma, a little bit of something. I think he's right on the edge. There's another character that's very, very similar to him that is going to be a little bit lower, I think. So Kevin's got something in his face. He has a little bit of true Resident Evil protag juice. Maybe I think so. Daddy's home, everyone. Daddy is home. What a fucking glow up. Can you think of a video game character that had a more of like a weak sort of like, oh, it's my first day, it's tough, it's scary, than Leon in RE2, like vanilla RE2? You go back to that, he's such a fucking kind of a loser. It's a lot because of the voice acting of the times, it's just not very good, and etc, etc. And he's woefully unprepared, he's very naive, etc, etc. And they kind of have that a little bit in the remake, but they handle it better, right? So you went from that to like the ultimate badass in RE4, and then sexier and sexier as we go on. So, I mean, what else is to say about Leon? Suplex, Ganado suplexing, Punisher shooting, fucking bingo playing son of a bitch. It's hard to top these four. I'm not sure we got another in the chamber. Oh, we almost do. It's Luis. Problem is, I don't like that version of Luis all that much. I don't like the sort of like scummy sort of feel they gave him. They were able to bring it back a little bit towards the end, but I don't know. Something about his face model and his voice acting just didn't quite hit it home for me. They're doing something a little bit different. I was like, I don't really like this too much, but he is playable in there. And at the end of the day, he still has a heart of gold in both versions, so I can't help but love him regardless. But Luis Serra, voiced by Reno Romero, I believe, in the first version. I prefer this version of Luis. He is definitely a BSA Employee of the Month. Mark's got a little bit getting big Ving Rhames in Dawn of the Dead remake vibes, although I think that movie did come out after Outbreak, if I recall. There's a little something there, but I think it's more towards the no opinion, don't know them. But glad he exists though. Good job, I guess. But yeah, it's very 50-50 with me with Outbreak characters. Moira Burton, Barry's daughter. I think having a teenage-ish sort of character, late teens or whatever Moira is interesting. It's hard to make that character like likable and sort of like a little Life is Strange-ish, but I think they handled her on the better side. I kind of grew to like her. A little woefully unprepared for the situation she finds herself in. It's still incredible to me that she would even get in the situation. I have to play Revelations 2 again to really understand like how she even got wrapped up in that and everything, especially since I grew up reading the Resident Evil novels. Barry's always talking about his family and just saying, oh, I just gotta protect the girls, oh, doing everything to protect my family. And that's why he was out so many games and never really did much beyond that. But yeah, I think Myra's pretty dope. I think there's something to her. I could see her coming back in like a later game or something, or like another Revelations 3 and be more of an adult and have a little bit of training. I don't know. But I doubt they would actually do that, in all honesty. Mia, I don't know. I don't really like Mia. I don't even know if there's much to say about that. I don't know what it is about this character. It's like I actually just don't really like her. I don't know if that's a Hope Y'all zombie food. I don't think so. I don't know what it is. I think it was like when you actually save Mia, she's like very doesn't care. She's like, yeah, whatever, let's get out of here, like blah, blah, blah. And that's like one of her few interactions with her. Whereas like you've grown to know Zoe more as the player in the game. So that's why they tried to make the choice. Maybe that's why like it just sticks like kind of like a sore thumb to me. Like Mia's presentation is not good because of RE7 had you make a choice. And she kind of tried to kill you a couple times. Beyond that, I don't know much about her. Or I don't remember, I don't retain much of it. I just don't care about Mia. Is anyone a fan of Natalia, the little psychic girl or whatever from Revelations 2? I barely even remember that she was in that shit. No. Maybe, I guess. But when you bring in psychic people that have like special weird powers, that's where I'm kind of like, eh. I think that's where I don't remember much about Natalia other than she pointed out special items in the environment. I don't think she did. She wasn't handling cold pythons and shit, was she? I don't think so. Anyway, yeah, Parker, Jill's partner from Revelations 1. I like Parker. Parker's got a little bit of something to him. I think he's supposed to be from Italy, I believe. Yeah, it's nice that we get a bigger carriage character, represented for all my husky boys out there. He's a pretty dope, I think. He's a pretty dope overall. Maybe I'm thinking to put up Ashley more. She did pilot that big fucking machine. I think I'm gonna move Ashley back up to VSAA. I don't know. I know why I suddenly thought of that. You know who's not going to be in the VSA? Piers Nivens. We don't need Chris Jr., right? I get it. Chris's campaign is the military campaign, so you're going to just have this like kind of boring military guy, but he's just a boring military guy. Same as Helena, I guess. Same as Helena. I just can't really do much with Piers. I do like his facial model. He reminds me of like young Revolver Ocelot, like MGS3 or Ocelot. So that's something for him. He reminds me of Ocelot. Who's not something? Fucking Quint. This is just an annoying guy that yelled at you, and he's just like has less going on than Keith. So Quint's a nah, son. Don't barely even remember this character existed. Another character I wish didn't exist. Rose zombie food. I think it's just character that is a baby for 95% of the complete experience of Resident Evil 8 Village is then like annoying teen with psychic powers, a zoomer or whatever. I mean, Zoomer, like Gen whatever we're at, I don't fucking know. Anyway, replaying Rule of Rose, the DLC from Resident Evil 8, Rule of Rose. That's not its name. But yeah, the Rose DLC, it's like, yeah, she's just kind of annoying, kind of just like not much going on. Would I want to see her in like a future game and she like be more confident and like older? Yeah, I could see that. I could see that being a turnaround, but I don't think they're ever going to do that. If they do that, I'll be fucking shocked. Right now, it's just like, I hope y'all be zombie food. It's like, I know this is crazy to say this, but like, you are a stain on the winter's name, Rose. I liked you better. Oh, okay. How about Zombie Rose is here, but Baby Rose? Baby Rose, hold on a second. That's regular Rose. Y'all pretty. All right, I'm good with that. Okay, moving on. We got always one in the chamber left for Miss Rebecca Chambers. Hello. Love that she came back in Resident Evil Vendetta, the only CGI Resident Evil movie I actually like. I adore Rebecca, honestly. I need to protect Rebecca at all costs. I think she's a cutie patootie. I think she's quite capable, even though she shouldn't be put in the position of like, shooting a bunch of zombies and monsters. She was able to adapt. She's able to wrangle in Billy. She's one of the few surviving members of Bravo team, right? That makes her, to me, fucking GOAT. And I know that might be controversial to some. She's only been playable in like one Resident Evil game ever. But yeah, the first remake and Zero do make up a lot of my Resident Evil DNA, and she's quite prominent in both, obviously Zero a little bit more. But yeah, I absolutely, now that Mikami does not like, Shinji Mikami does not like Rebecca. He made some sort of comment saying, yeah, Rebecca's annoying, I don't like her. And he hasn't been in the company in like a fucking million years. You can put Rebecca back in stuff. I want Rebecca in RE9. I want Rebecca in RE10. If the RE0 remake is coming, you better not mess with my backs. Sherry I think Sherry's fine. It's just like, it was the wrong game for her to come back, right? Child Sherry's annoying as shit. I'm not going to place Child Sherry in the tier list because it's more or less the same character. But Sherry, as she is in RE6, I think she's got a good design. It's nice that they brought her back. It's just like it was the bad game for her to come back in. I think she's y'all pretty dope. Not quite. It's amazing she was able to, get unscathed from the trauma of the Raccoon City incident and make it to where she was in RE6. But I could see a return for her too. I would not mind that. Sheva's a goat! She's so cool. Absolutely needs a return as well. As you can see, there's lots of characters that like to return, and Sheva is one. How she hasn't is kind of beyond me. I think she's like generally really popular, but maybe they're saving that for the inevitable RE5 remake. There can't be an RE5 remake. We can't be remaking 360 games, can we? Can we really? Super cool. A really great partner to Chris. They have they're both professionals. They have a nice slight contrast to each other. She obviously knowing more stuff about the region that they're in, etc. And I think it's a duo that should come back. Actually, I wouldn't mind Sheva and Chris coming back in like a co-op game in the future sometime. We could do co-op again. I wouldn't mind that. Next up, perhaps most controversial up is my precious Steve. Now, does this have a lot of irony in it? Yes. Is it 100% irony? No. Love Steve. This is one of those things where it's like, I can't even explain it. It's like every magazine and website circa 2000 was telling you to shit on Steve. Steve's so annoying. Steve's voice acting sucks. Steve's like a whiny little bitch. All that's true. But I love Steve. Because I rented Code Veronica when I had rented my Dreamcast from Blockbuster. I got to the Steve sections, and before you say anything, Steve is playable in Dark Side Chronicles or whichever Dark Side Chronicles. So he is playable. He is not playable in Code Veronica, the base game. So that's fine. Before any of y'all come at me, I get to him and I just thought he was hilarious, right? It's like, I not even love to hate. I was like, no, man, this guy's he's got something. I don't know what it is, but he's just too funny, right? They do a job at trying to make him a little bit cooler when they remade Code Veronica and Dark Side Chronicles. The voice actor is obviously a different voice actor and stuff. He doesn't have the cringy lines and things. I want to go back and play that already. Just go back to there. And Steve has stuff. He takes some bumps. For sure, takes big bumps in Code Veronica. And has some character development. For sure. A tragic character, some would say.
Father!
Steve is, now that I'm looking at where I want to put him, I don't think I can. People would hate me. People would thumbs down this video. Do not thumbs down the video just because you disagree. You thumbs down the video if you're not entertained, okay? So, I put him as a PSA and play on this fucking dead. So yeah, the last character is Zoe, so it doesn't really matter. I kind of wanted to go out on Steve. But yeah, I like Zoe more than Mia, so Zoe's I don't know why, this got really fun. This got really entertaining for me, at least. So yeah, that's the end. I think the goats are kind of expected. I think everything down below, if anyone was seeing this for the first time, like, what the fuck is he on? Why is this baby? Sorry. Another reason why I'm laughing is every so often my eye goes over this baby doing this pose. Anyway, let me know. I'm sure there's someone I'm probably missing. I don't think I am, given the context I said earlier. Again, I don't count Resistance as a canon game. I think that's a weirdo game. I don't even think that counts. Whew. Let me know. Flame me in the comments. Just don't thumbs down the video. Only thumbs up the video, please. Try to give you the most entertaining Resident Evil content I can this week, and it's been a fun time. Hope you guys have enjoyed it. Regular broadcasting after this video, I believe, unless something else happens, unless I have some other crazy idea after this. But yeah, let me know what you thought of this tier list in the comments below, and anything else you'd like me to do. I'm kind of thinking if I return to Resident Evil, I might do like monsters or enemies, but holy shit, there's like 100 enemies. So we'll see. Maybe I'll do villains. Maybe villains makes sense, right? Maybe villains does. Anyway, let me know what you thought, and I'll see you next time in the tier house.
1, 2, 3, 4, turn the beat back.